Hi, boys and girls. We're going to be reading another chapter from our story Wonder today. And if we remember from the last couple of days, we've been reading from Justin's point of view, who is Olivia's boyfriend. So we're going to continue reading from his point of view and seeing what's happening in the lives of Augie and Via and the whole family just from his point of view. Here we go. The bus stop. Olivia's mom, Augie, Jack, and Daisy come down the stoop just as I'm saying goodbye to Olivia. Slightly awkward since we are in the middle of a nice, long kiss. "Hey guys," says Mom, pretending not to see anything, but the two boys are giggling. "Hi, Mrs. Pullman." "Please call me Isabel, Justin," she says again. It's like the third time she's told me this, so I really need to start calling her that. "I'm heading home," I say, as if to explain. "Oh, are you heading to the subway?" she says, following the dog with a newspaper. "Can you walk Jack to the bus stop?" "No problem." "That okay with you, Jack?" the mom asks him, and he shrugs. "Justin, can you stay with him till the bus comes?" "Of course." We all say our goodbyes. Olivia winks at me. "You don't have to stay with me," says Jack as we're walking up the block. "I take the bus by myself all the time. Augie's mom is way too overprotective." He's got a low, gravelly voice, like a little tough guy. He kind of looks like one of those little rascal kids in the old black and white movies. Like he should be wearing a newsboy cap and knickers. We get to the bus stop, and the schedule says the bus will be there in 8 minutes. "I'll wait with you," I tell him. "Up to you," he shrugs. "Can I borrow $1? I want to get some gum." I fish $1 out of my pocket and watch him cross the street to the grocery store on the corner. He seems too small to be walking around by himself somehow. Then I think how I was that young when I was taking the subway by myself. Way too young. I'm going to be an overprotective dad someday. I know it. My kids are going to know that I care. I'm waiting there a minute or two when I notice 3 kids walking up the block from the other direction. They walk right past the grocery store, but one of them looks inside and nudges the other 2. And they all back up and look inside. I can tell they're up to no good, all elbowing each other and laughing. One of them is Jack's height, but the other 2 look much bigger, more like teens. They hide behind the fruit stand in front of the store, and when Jack walks out, they trail behind him, making loud throw-up noises. Jack casually turns around to the corner to see who they are, and they run away, high-fiving each other and laughing. Little jerks. Jack crosses the street like nothing happened and stands next to me at the bus stop, blowing a bubble. "Friends of yours?" I finally say. "Ha!" he says. He's trying to smile, but I can see that he's upset. "Just some jerks from my school," he says. "A kid named Julian and his 2 gorillas, Henry and Miles." "Do they bother you like that a lot?" "No, they've never done that before. They've never done that, or they'd never do that in school, or they'd get kicked out. Julian doesn't even live around here, so I guess it was just bad luck running into him." "Oh, okay," I nod. "It's not a big deal," he assures me. We both automatically look down Amesfort Avenue to see if the bus is coming. We're sort of in a war, he says after a minute, as if that explains everything. And then he pulls out this crumpled piece of loose leaf paper from his jean pocket and gives it to me. I unfold it, and it's a list of names in 3 columns. "He turns the whole grade against me," says Jack. "Not the whole grade," I point out, looking down the list. He leaves notes in my locker that says stuff like, "Everybody hates you." "You should tell your teacher about that." Jack looks at me like I'm an idiot and shakes his head. "Anyway, you have all these neutrals," I say, pointing to the list. "If you've got them on your side, then things will even up a bit." "Yeah, well, that's not going to happen," he says sarcastically. Why not? He shoots me another look, like I'm absolutely the stupidest guy he's ever talked to in the world. What? I say. He shakes his head like I'm hopeless. Let's just say he says, I'm friends with someone who isn't exactly the most popular kid in school. Then it hits me. What he's not coming out and saying, August. This is all about his being friends with August, and he doesn't want to tell me because I'm the sister's boyfriend. Yeah, of course, it makes sense. We see the bus coming down Amesfort Avenue. Well, just hang in there, I tell him, handing back the paper. Middle school is about as bad as it gets, and then it gets better. Everything will work out. He shrugs and shoves the list back into his pocket. We wave goodbye when he gets on the bus, and I watch it pull away. When I get to the subway station 2 blocks away, I see the same 3 kids hanging out in front of the bagel place next door. They're still laughing and yucking each other like they're some kind of gangbangers. Little rich boys in expensive skinny jeans acting tough. Don't know what possesses me, but I take my glasses off, put them in my pocket, and tuck my fiddle case under my arms so the pointy side is facing up. I walk over to them. My face scrunched up, mean-looking. They look at me, laughs dying on their lips when they see me. Ice cream cones at odd angles. Yo, listen up. Don't mess with Jack, I say really slowly, gritting my teeth, my voice all Clint Eastwood tough guy. Mess with him again, and you'll be very, very sorry. And then I tap my fiddle case, just for effect. Got it? They nod in unison, ice cream dripping onto their hands. Good, I nod mysteriously, then sprint down the subway 2 steps at a time. The next chapter is called Rehearsal. The play is taking up most of my time as we get closer to opening night. Lots of lines to remember, long monologues where it's just me talking. Olivia had this great idea, though, and it's helping. I have my fiddle with me on stage, and I play it a bit while I'm talking. It's not written that way, but Mr. Davenport thinks it adds an extra folksy element to have the stage manager plucking on a fiddle. And for me, it's so great because whenever I need a second to remember my next line, I just start playing a little soldier's joy on my fiddle, and it buys me some time. I've gotten to know the kids in the show a lot better, especially the pink-haired girl who plays Emily. Turns out she's not nearly as stuck up as I thought she was, given the crowd that she hangs out with. Her boyfriend's this built jock who's a big deal on the varsity sports circuit at school. It's a whole world that I have nothing to do with, so I'm kind of surprised that this Miranda girl turns out to be kind of nice. One day, we're sitting on the floor backstage waiting for the tech guys to fix the main spotlight. So how long have you and Olivia been dating? She asks me out of the blue. About 4 months, I say. Have you met her brother? She says casually. It's so unexpected that I can't hide my surprise. You know Olivia's brother? I ask. Via didn't tell you? We used to be good friends. I've known Augie since he was a baby. Oh, yeah, I think I knew that, I answer. I don't want to let on that Olivia has not told me any of this. I don't want to let on how surprised I am that she calls her Via. Nobody but Olivia's family calls her Via. And here, this pink-haired girl who I thought was a stranger is calling her Via. Miranda laughs and shakes her head, but she doesn't say anything. There's an awkward silence, and then she starts fishing through her bag and pulls out her wallet. She rifles through a couple of pictures and then hands one to me. It's of a little boy in a park on a sunny day. He's wearing shorts and a t-shirt and an astronaut helmet that covers his entire head. It was like 100 degrees that day, she says, smiling at the picture. But he wouldn't take the helmet off for anything. He wore it for like 2 years straight, in the winter, in the summer, at the beach. It was crazy. Yeah, I've seen pictures in Olivia's house. I'm the one who gave him that helmet, she says. She sounds a little proud of that. She takes the picture and carefully inserts it back into her wallet. Cool, I answer. So you're okay with it? She says, looking at me. I look at her blankly. Okay with what? She raises her eyebrows like she doesn't believe me. You know what I'm talking about, she says, and takes a long drink from her water bottle. Let's face it, she continues. The universe was not kind to Augie Pullman. All right, those were our 2 chapters for today. We learned a little bit more about what's going on in the lives of Augie and Via through the eyes of the new boyfriend, Justin, which is really neat. I like to see his point of view, and it's definitely shining through. A lot of things that happen to him in his life, I don't think he thinks are exactly fair. He looks after Jack in almost a fatherly way in one of these chapters, which is kind of neat. And he also stands up for Jack and for Augie. He seems like one of them. He seems like part of the family. What do you think? Tell me in the comments what you think about Justin so far. In my opinion, he's a pretty good guy. Anyway, we'll read a little bit more next time, and feel free to leave your ideas in the comments for me. See ya.